and Dr. Ashim Sattar come on
Earthquake day is good.
I'm extremely grateful to all this speaker for the next session. Dr. O.P. Mishra is the director of National Center for Seismology, and he will speak on the microzonation.
बाद में बात कर लीजिए. हेलो, बाद में बात कर लो. Please talk later.
Dr. Prakash Chauhan is the director of National Remote Sensing Center of ISRO, and he will speak on the surface deformation. Dr. Kanungo, he will speak on earthquake-induced landslides, and of course there was some question related to building also. I would request to direct it to Dr. Kanungo. And last, Dr. Ashim Sattar, who is in the Divecha Center for Climate Change. He will speak on very interesting topic, earthquake impact on mooring dam lakes. Not many have been addressed, but I'm sure that Dr. Asim would be able to provide some insight into this. With this few remarks, I request Dr. Mishra to start his presentation, and I request all of you to have 12 minutes only, because of course you know many more, but I think you need to concentrate in a pin form to provide the input. So Dr. Mishra, you will go there and come on.
Yeah, really, I'm thankful to the IIC President, our Director Salesh Naik, Director NIS, and NIAS, and Light Trustee, Professor Ramchandran, Secretary, Minister of Sciences. Of course, it is really a very hilarious moment for us that we are the scientists, technocrats, bureaucrats, as well as researchers, and media is here, policy planners are here, that we have to work to most challenging topic, which is unattended people. And as we told that just recently that nothing is impossible in science. Today we are not predicting the earthquake, tomorrow maybe we can predict the earthquake. And that is actually crux that we are doing the research, and the entire world is pouring $1 billion for this understanding the earthquake mechanism. So if you see that, of course, earthquake neither be stopped nor be predicted. It is not possible to predict the earthquake with respect to time, space, and science. We have already done a prediction, 3 stages we crossed. You have seen from the morning that seismogenesis in the Himalaya, in the Bhuj area, in the Latur area, in Koyna area. These are all demarcated zones, right? So in the earthquake prediction, we have already anticipated where the earthquake happens.
Yes, could happen.
We have also expected that when the earthquake happens, because Vinith was telling that long due earthquake is there is no earthquake happened for the last 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. You can at least expect and you can justify. Third point is justification is scientifically available. As locked zone there, non-locking zones are there, fluids are there, anthropogenic activity are there. There's a lot of justification here. But what we are lacking, the last stage of prediction is authentication with respect to its time, space, and size. And that's why we are working day and the night for that. But as Dr. Bagla rightly said that the earthquake risk can be mitigated by only 3. One is either predict the earthquake, forecast the earthquake, give the early warning, or if not possible, then make your structure in such a way that earthquake shaking has no impact to raise to the ground or damage to that. Only 3 aspects are there. So I am very lucky that I am working with the Ministry of Earth Science and National Center for Seismology, which is dealing with the earthquake research, starting from the monitoring to the earthquake around the corner, 24/7. To understand that, the last paragraph you can see the National Network of Seismographs. My colleague Dr. G. Suresh is here. An accelegraph in the place to monitor earthquake tremors varying strengths from the different subsurface source depths that help identify potential zones of the earthquake along with the estimates of the propensity of the earthquake hazards. That means you are demarcating. There are many hidden faults. There are many faults known, but there are many hidden causative faults which are not knowing that why it is happening to them. And see, this is the earthquake of the entire Indian subcontinent. Can you not take as early warning for that? It has really the longer your response time. You know that where you stand. You know that where is your house. You know that what to do. The science has achieved it. So this is not a like pessimism that earthquake is not being predicted. There is no forecast said, so we are going to die. We have already given you this demarcated zone. You take the precautions, make your house earthquake risk resilient. As one person asked earlier, I will give the answer in between. So this is the huge earthquake occurrences related to what? Related to almost all factors I'm going to explain after some time. So India, 59% of the vulnerable to earthquake, of these 12% are very severe, called a zone 5.
Yes.
And suddenly all the natural hazards of the land, vulnerable to drought, 12% is the vulnerable to floods, 8% off. But these all the hydrometeorological disasters, it is able to now forecast and predict because of the observation system. They are all computational acumen. They are understanding the processes and mechanisms. So here the crux is that we cannot predict the earthquake till today with the present state of knowledge because we don't know the actual physics, exact physics involved behind the earthquake generating process. Just like a doctor cannot predict how the heart functions, they understand how the brain functions, they understand now they can transplant the brain, they can transplant the heart. So mechanism is the most important for what entire day and night we are monitoring the earthquake to understand that how the culprit behaves, at what source depth, when it is the somewhere the magnitude is lesser, somewhere the magnitude is the more. So these are the seismic hazard of the globe. Entire world seismic community has made the seismic hazard, global seismic hazard map. If you come to South Asia, you can see this entire South Asia, Indian subcontinent is also the seismic hazardous zone. Please mention that this is not source zonation map. It is the hazard zonation map.
Hazard zone.
So many people say that, oh, why then he is falling in the zone 4? It is the zone 4 and 5 in Himalaya. So zone 4 and 5 of Himalaya, of course, it has the earthquake source zonation map, but the hazard zonation map is actually the impact, the amplification of shaking, how they can going to influence the damage of the scenario, damage of the structure. So this there, all the happenings here. And you can see, the thanks to geology and geoseismology, they pierced each and every inch of the Indian subcontinent. They have already found that there is a fault plane, there is a lot of the faults, are there. There is a lot of lineaments is there, weak zones are there, lot of structural defects are there, and that's why the seismogenesis is taking place. Is it not enough for us that understanding the explanation of the mechanism? So you see that almost all earthquakes of different magnitude in the same zone is concentrated, and that is actually the puzzle. Why a same source zone is sometimes generating the bigger earthquake, sometimes generating the smaller earthquake, sometimes it's occurring in the deeper depth of the bigger earthquake is not damaging, but even the smaller earthquake of the shallow depth is damaging, right? So this gives you all the idea that how to cope up. So the Indian are trying to make a very robust hazard map since 1893, 1896, 2002, the BIS there, and this is zonation map. And this zonation map, if you go to policy planner, sir, I am doing seismic microzonation, since my topic is given by Professor Nayakji. They ask why you are doing this seismic microzonation. Zonation map is there. All engineers believe this. Yes, there is engineer can rise here. There are many engineers are there. So if you see this, I will give you one example. That if this zonation map is the Bible for doing the hazard estimates, then everybody making a house in a particular zone.
Yeah.
If the typology of the building is same, if the material is same, if the engineer is same, architect is same, then a particular earthquake at a particular magnitude must have a similar damage pattern of the structure. But it is not happening. This gives us the idea that whatever the zonation map is made, it has compromised some property which has the detectability of the earthquake setting, or which has the capability to influence the damage pattern for that. And you can give this example. You see, this is the Muzaffarabad earthquake in 2005. The well-built structure, engineers hear the questions. A school-going children is being trapped and he lost his life. You can see here. There are a lot of the damages happen in surrounding, but there is a multi-story building is standing still. The earthquake magnitude is the 7.8. The focal depth is also known. Impact is very basic. It is a few meters. You can say that. But damage pattern is different. What does it mean that? It justifies that whatever the seismic microzonation, what seismic zonation map, hazard zonation, macrozonation map is not going to solve out the problem of the engineers. So the zone 1.8 G to 2.20 G, 0.20 G to 0.24 G, 0.24 G to 0.36 G, greater than 36 G is the zone 5, and they make the structure already die. So this is not going to resolve the issue of these factors. So now you can see this cartoon. For going this cartoon, you can see that if the earthquake happens to so close vicinity of the 4 trees, the impact of earthquake shaking is different for all 4 trees. One tree is not going to move, and other tree is moving, but one tree is falling down. That means what? It was the material property heterogeneity that is dictated by the mode of the earthquake shaking. Some is equal to shaking is being diffracted, some shaking is being absorbed, some shaking is being dissipated, some shaking is being scattered. So that is actually the engineer needs from us, that you generate the foundational design parameter to us, and that's why you do that. And there is the need of that you do the microzonation study. And this is the physics, that if this is the earthquake occurred in the harder rock, this was the harder rock, then the seismic wave propagate and there is no changes in this is the foundation. But if we passing through a sediments, that is loose material, just like a pop-up, then the seismic wave amplify the material,
Yes.
and then the sucking frequency matches to a structural frequency, and then there is the damage taking place. So here is actually the crux of the seismic microzonation taking place. So it is the worthwhile to invest money to resources in preparing the risk resiliency structure to earthquake. Now you understand, sir, why the zonation map 4 and 5, you ask the questions, that zonation is just a crude zonations. That's why we have to encourage the people to keep an earthquake kit in your home and get safety. But that is uncertain. Maybe in deep sleep earthquake happens, you cannot use this kit. Then you come to extreme left, the building can be constructed to earthquake proof, and the building absorbs some of this. And this is the most authentic engineering solutions. And it has given a proof in the Japan that none of the building raised to ground in Sendai city of the tsunami-genic earthquake of magnitude 9. None of the city in Sendai raised to ground. That means it is proof that engineering and scientific solutions is capable to withstand the earthquake shaking of the magnitude 9 or 8. It is going on, and that's why the India is trying to mix up vital installations, all dwellings, structures, critical infrastructures, and Ministry of Earth Sciences, when Celeste Nax have taken this project as a flagship project, seismic microzonation of the Indian 30 cities initially. And we are doing, but before doing that, we have to have a lot of things to do that. So for the students, seismic microzonation is nothing but it is zonation of the zone available in a detailed, for very detailed study, applying the all available technology of the geophysical, seismological, geotechnical, geological, whatever the other technology apart from the computational mechanism. So if you see that, if you do, then your dwelling will be the safer, the structure will be prosperous, all multi-purpose dams are taken, and we are actually giving a seismic tomography for the Devang project in the zone 5 of the Arunachal Pradesh. And that is seismic design has passed that, because if design parameter you have to generate. So what you mean that seismic microzonation is going to give the inputs for the seismic risk resilient building design code.
Absolutely.
That is actually purpose. And that's why you wanted to zonify the zone in a detailed study. I will tell that in the microzonation does not mean 10 to the minus 6. Microzonation means whatever the available scale you have to go for the further detail. It should be now 1 to 50,000 scale in the geological map. We are going now 1 to 25,000, 1 to 10,000, and now I will go to explain that how we are going to do that. So generation of all the parameters, we have to take all precautionary measures starting from the landslide, the sinking zone, starting from your hydrological changes, starting from geotechnical availability, and then deliverables we give in the different aspects since it will be distributed. So I'm not going to read that. So output will be there. But in the zonation map, you have only did the path characterization, attenuation, empirical law. But here in the seismic microzonation, we do the source characterization, we do the site characterization, and we do the very detailed path characterization. So all three physical law will be used to generate the model. So how do you do that? How we will be able to do that? Suppose you may ask that you do this microzonation city. Of my city, I can do by my way. Many institutions are doing seismic microzonation. That's why Ministry of Earth Sciences will take all the care to have a SOP to do all the things. So every parameter has been used for that. Geological parameters, seismological parameters, many parameters are there. And then geotechnical parameters, and we try to make a GIS map because engineers wanted to use at particular sites. And then we have already completed many cities of seismic microzonation. You can see here that we are now going to deliver microzonation of the 4 cities. It is already given there in the green, and 8 cities is going on in collaboration with the ISR Gujarat. So we are technical partners of the public-private partnership also, and also the government-to-government partnership also. So the NCS is doing all for this is for engineers. Just I am going to glimpse geophysical many parameters we are going to determine, geotechnical in situ and laboratory, microtremor study doing, downhole tests are doing, massage doing for shear wave velocity. Because engineers cannot believe just like postmortem from the surface. We have to peep inside the drilling and then do the sample and then give the stiffness coefficient, its bulk density, all tests, seismic tests, resonance curve tests, Attenborough tests, whatever the available tests are there, we are doing and giving the all information to a composite map for the designers, BIS, building design codes, to introduce the factor of safety in their model, in their design. And this is the drilling the Ministry of Earth Sciences and NCS is doing for Coimbatore. I have shown you some example. And then mass watch is used for technique that whatever shear wave velocity we have done, one method can give you the wrong result, but two methods cannot give you the wrong result. That's why the NCS trying to corroborate the other partners there. So this is some examples are there. And this is a very fine grid. It was just like 100 meters and 500 meters, 1 kilometer grid pattern to get all values of the everything. And this is microtremor study, putting a seismographs in the field for the students, and then we are doing. So here the microgeneration map is released for the NCR Delhi. The report is given to everybody, and this is all the red zone is giving you the peak frequency. That is the higher peak frequency means the stronger rocks. Lower is equal to frequency, it means all the amplification and frequency map collaborations. You have also found the liquefaction potential zone, and taking all parameters of entire city. We have given the map of the hazard index map, and you see the Jamuna River is more hazardous coming in zone 4. So we have gone. Similarly, in the Calcutta, we have done the seismic microgeneration with the help of all IIT Kharagpur, and we were able to generate the microgeneration map given to that. But here is the crux is there. Today is microgeneration, tomorrow is the nanogeneration. Maybe the scale vary. Day after tomorrow it could be the picogeneration and could be a femtogeneration. Maybe a fancy word. But your detailed investigation means it is dynamic to give the information. This structure is just few minutes, sir. This is the structure of seismic microgeneration. This is the seismic microgeneration where we have taken all the field of lab and doing all these things.
No, you have made your point.
So there is all the policy planner here needed how to implement it, and this is only possible if it is made a legal techno binding that you have to have a structure and then there is use for that. So almost apply to schools, the hospitals, the prisons, many vital installations. We are doing all this. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done.
You also given many time to others.
No.